Thousands of fans are heading to the University of Kentucky campus for a rare weeknight football matchup against Auburn. We'll have a live report on traffic conditions from campus. We're also live at Commonwealth Stadium with a preview of tonight's key SEC matchup.
And the weather is perfect for it. I will give you the forecast for Commonwealth Stadium tonight. Coming up.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 4.
Welcome to WKYT News at 4. I'm Amber Philpott. Jennifer has the afternoon off. We are seeing picture-perfect weather here in the Bluegrass with sunny skies and some really nice temperatures. It is making for some beautiful tailgating weather for tonight's big UK game. Take a look. This is a live picture now of downtown Lexington, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Let's check in now with meteorologist Jim Caldwell. Perfect night for a game, mister.
It is perfect. Is Jennifer tailgating? Is that where she is, you think? Probably. I'd say she probably is. You're right. It is perfect for it. We've got the blue skies out there and very comfortable conditions have been easing into the area. Look at all the blue out in front of the station as well. Things will change, though, as we progress through the rest of the evening. We'll have more clouds kind of roll in, and that will eventually bring a chill. But perfect day for tailgating, as Amber, not Jennifer. Jennifer's the one that's tailgating. Amber is here. It's a perfect day for it. Turning cool, though, by kickoff, and we get what I've referenced all week as that football chill to the air by the end of the game. We're talking low 50s, mid 50s there into the second half. Right now, we are running in the upper 60s and low 70s all across the Commonwealth. Tomorrow, we'll be around 60 at this same time. And then on Saturday, mid-50s. A lot coming at us over the next couple of days. I'll track all of it, Amber, coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, we will see you then. Thousands of UK fans are gathering at Commonwealth Stadium ahead of tonight's big primetime matchup with Auburn. This is the first time Commonwealth Stadium has hosted a nationally televised game on a Thursday night. The game has forced students and faculty to find somewhere else to park. Our Monique Blair is live in Lexington on the corner of Alumni and Nicholasville Roads, monitoring traffic conditions surrounding the stadium. It's our top story at 4. Monique?
Well, Amber, kickoff is in 3 hours, and since this is the first weeknight home game since the 1930s, officials say they really didn't know what to expect as far as traffic was concerned out here. Now, I want to show you what we're looking at right now. We're at the corner of Alumni Drive and Nicholasville Road, and so far, as you can see, it looks like more foot traffic than anything. There really is not a big backup at all as far as traffic is concerned. Now, thousands of students and staff who normally park on campus had to give up their spots today and park off campus. I talked to a few students about this, and it really seemed to be a mixture of frustration over moving their parking spot on a school day and excitement for such a rare Thursday night home game. Many fans out here have been tailgating for hours, and some of them tell me they didn't get out here early to ensure they had a spot, but instead they came out here early in an effort to dodge the anticipated afternoon traffic.
We were really worried about the traffic. They have made us paranoid about the traffic. But we had family coming in, 2 different couples coming in from the Cincinnati area and stopping off in Georgetown. And I think we freaked them out about, so they were going to be later and they decided to get here early.
Now again, we are out here at the corner of Alumni Drive and Nicholasville Road, and you can see traffic is really not causing much of a problem as of right now, but Lexington police really want you to caution if you're coming to get to the game tonight to leave in plenty of time so you make sure you get here in time and you're also able to find a parking spot. Reporting live in Lexington, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Monique, thank you. And it is going to be a cat fight tonight in Commonwealth Stadium with the Wildcats taking on the Auburn Tigers. Our Rob Bromley is live for us at Commonwealth Stadium with a preview of the game. Rob?
Well, Amber, we arrived here just a short time ago, Commonwealth Stadium. It has been a great day, and as you have been saying, it will be a perfect night in a key SEC matchup, the Kentucky Wildcats and the Auburn Tigers. Now, Mark Stoops has been building his program. It's really been paying off this season. The Cats already have SEC wins over South Carolina and Missouri. A big key to it is consistency on every play. Stoops talked about that earlier this week.
Both sides of the ball and on special teams, it can't be 10 guys. And then just one person here, one person there completely derails you, certainly offensively, because you could have one guy on one play in a series and it ruins your whole series. So I think that's it, just getting consistency across the board and getting everybody on the same page. And again, I want to see that great energy and focus and passion on every.
All right, there's Mark Stoops. It'll be a 7 o'clock kickoff for this first Thursday game in Commonwealth Stadium history. It will be televised by ESPN. The fans arriving, they are tailgating. It's going to be a fantastic night. I'll be back at 5 o'clock. We'll hear from quarterback Patrick Tolles. For now, that's it from here at Commonwealth Stadium. Amber, back to you.
Rob, thank you. It is a great night to be out there for sure. We are working on a number of other stories for you on WKYT starting at 4:30. Sam joins us now from the newsroom with a look at some of the news in progress. Hello, Sam.
Good afternoon, Amber. A Central Kentucky woman who put her newborn baby in a plastic bag will spend 4 years in prison. Cassandra Haney was sentenced this morning in court. She pled guilty to child endangerment and evidence tampering. Haney gave birth in a toilet last January, then put the baby in a plastic bag in her Clark County apartment. Police say her roommate heard the baby and called for help. The baby did survive. We'll have more details of the sentencing ahead on WKYT News at 5. A former Berea police officer is in custody after a nearly 7-hour standoff with police. It began about 3 this morning on Raven Drive in Madison County. Police were called for a report of a disturbance, and when they arrived, they say Harold Hill started shooting at them, ran inside and refused to come out. His wife, son, and a teenage grandson were inside, but they escaped. Neighbors say they heard shots on and off all morning.
We didn't know if there was going to be more shooting or what his mental state was, so we wanted people to stay inside and in the safest place possible.
Several vehicles and a home were hit by bullets during the standoff. Hill is charged with 2 counts of attempted murder of a police officer. That's a look at some of the news in progress. Amber, back to you.
Sam, thank you. Now to a story making headlines across the nation at 4. As the war in Afghanistan enters its 15th year, it appears there is no immediate end in sight. President Obama today announced the drawdown of troops from Afghanistan will be delayed. He says the Afghan military is just not ready to take on the task of securing the country. Steve Nannis has the details from Washington.
A major reversal from President Obama on what he hoped would be part of his administration's legacy, pulling all U.S. troops out of Afghanistan.
I've decided to maintain our current posture of 9,800 troops in Afghanistan through most of next year, 2016.
This new plan will bring the number of troops down to 5,500 by early 2017. Initially, the plan was to do that by the end of this year, then have an embassy-only presence by the end of next year.
But maintaining our current posture through most of next year, rather than a more rapid drawdown, will allow us to sustain our efforts to train and assist Afghan forces as they grow stronger.
One analyst says training Afghan troops is not the same as training American troops.
We're dealing with a different society, a different cultural norm, and I think that it's taken time to overcome a lot of those societal norms.
The president said the delay is necessary given recent events in Afghanistan.
Meanwhile, the Taliban has made gains, particularly in rural areas, and can still launch deadly attacks in cities, including Kabul.
According to the UN, insurgents have now spread through more of the country than at any time since the post-9/11 invasion. Afghanistan's defense minister says his country's military is making strides, but still needs help.
We will continue to need some level of support that will enable us, that will help us to really address that threat.
In Washington, I'm Steve Nannis.
Some 65 million retirees on Social Security will not receive a cost of living boost in 2016. It is a first in 5 years. The reason, a decline in inflation caused by falling gas prices. In other words, if the price of goods doesn't increase, Social Security benefits stay flat. Unfortunately, the way the government measures inflation may not accurately reflect how many on Social Security spend. Many seniors drive very few miles per month and spend little on gas. But medical costs, a big ticket item for many retirees, has been rising faster than inflation. The typical retiree's benefits is $1,300 a month. In hundreds of cities across the world, you can press a button and get a ride in minutes. Now, through Uber Rush, business owners can use that same technology to get customers access to a variety of products. With Uber Rush, drivers get 75% of the delivery fee, $3 for each mile. Uber says the average fee is $6 to $9, which may or may not be passed on to you. The catch, Uber Rush only offers deliveries from a select number of places, primarily big box retailers. Netflix is experiencing some growing pains. The popular streaming service says it added 880,000 U.S. subscribers in July, August, and September. It may sound good, but it's far short of the more than 1 million the company anticipated. Overall, Netflix has more than 69 million subscribers, including nearly 3 million overseas. Netflix blames the sluggish growth on the transition to chip-based credit and debit cards, creating what it calls an inability to collect. Many tech companies offer employees free lunch as an incentive, but it turns out the old expression, "there's no such thing as a free lunch," may actually be true. Julie Watts reports.
How many days a week do you eat at the office?
Every day. It's delicious.
What would you think if the IRS started taxing you on this food?
That'd be a bad thing. Very, very bad thing.
But it may someday be a real thing for hundreds of thousands of tech workers like Damien, who've become accustomed to their free lunch.
It's really something you need to offer the employees to remain competitive with the bigger, larger players out there, such as Google and Facebook.
And Steve Starner of If We says they cater to their tech employees in more ways than one. To compete with the tech giants who offer everything from gourmet restaurants to dry cleaning and haircuts, If We boasts a nap room and bi-weekly massages. But it's the food the IRS reportedly wants a bite of. While the agency won't officially comment, regulations regarding employer-provided meals is publicly listed as a priority for the next year. At issue, tax code exempts free lunch only if it's offered for the convenience of the employer, not the employee. If it benefits the employee, it's considered income. And while free meals are meant to keep employees at their desk, Google alone reportedly serves 30,000 meals per day. At $20 to $30 a pop, the IRS has a lot to gain by taking a cut.
If these people were compensated, say, $100,000 a year, this is an extra 6 or 7% of their income, and that's, substantial enough to go ahead and want to tax it.
But this is far from a done deal. Even if the IRS revises its guidance, it would likely face legal challenges and need to be hammered out in the courts. Julie Watts for CBS News, San Francisco.
Over Commonwealth Stadium right now, and at this moment, inbound Nicholasville Road, crazy. It's backing up starting at about Southland Drive on toward the stadium. That's what you're dealing with at this moment, so not too bad getting in there, believe it or not. Also took a flight over Keene, and it looks like the backup begins just before Man of War on Purcell's Road. Of course, both directions, officers on the button already. And you're dealing with about a 10-minute delay to get in that area or out, however you want to look at it, for Purcell's Road traffic. Now back.
Officer Don, thank you. It is an exciting day and night for our University of Kentucky Wildcats and fans. The football team is taking on Auburn, and folks have been out tailgating all afternoon, and they're ready to go.
I'd say that's a good crowd to be around right now. Deanne Stevens joins us from outside Commonwealth Stadium, where some exciting things are taking place. Hey, Deanne.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. We are on the University of Kentucky campus counting down to tip-off. Game time, 7 o'clock right here at Commonwealth Stadium. Folks have been lined up all afternoon in anticipation of our Kentucky Wildcats taking on Auburn tonight. This young lady is pretty excited about being here as well. Miss Marlena Van Hoos, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing fine.
So you probably recognize Marlena because she sang the national anthem at the women's games. Tonight she's singing the national anthem here for our Kentucky Wildcats. This is a pretty exciting time for you, isn't it?
Woo!
Clearly excited. You just did a sound check. You sounded amazing, my dear.
Thank you.
And you're also singing with
Montgomery Gentry.
And so what are you singing tonight?
My Town.
Yeah, is that one of your favorite songs? You love that song. Everybody loves it.
Well,
you kind of like it. You're excited about singing it, aren't you?
Woo!
Well, I mean, how do you show your excitement when you go from, I said to you, I remember you singing the national anthem for the women's game, and then all of a sudden, what happened from that?
The video went viral on YouTube, and everybody from all over the world has commented. And some people was saying, I am not American, but the national anthem brought me to tears, but things like that, and just blow people away.
You do blow people away with that amazing voice, my dear, and I know you will tonight as well. Marlena singing the national anthem here for our game and also singing with Montgomery Gentry. Now, coming up at 4:50, Eddie and Troy are here, and we are talking to them. They're so happy to be back playing for their hometown crowd. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about at Commonwealth Stadium, just waiting on that game. Back to you guys.
It is time now for better living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. Chinese researchers say having a high-stress job may be linked to a higher risk of stroke. High-stress jobs were defined as having high demands with little control over the work, such as waitresses and nursing aides. Those with high-stress jobs had a 22% higher risk of stroke compared to those with low-stress jobs. It is a condition that strikes fear in the hearts of many parents, pink eye. That's because it is one of the most contagious childhood disorders. As Jim Morelli shows us, anyone can get pink eye, especially if someone else in the house comes down with it.
And 2-year-old Benny's got eyes of blue, but several months ago they featured another color, pink. Benny had pink eye, the layman's term for conjunctivitis.
It's an inflammation of the membrane layer that's on the front of the eye.
Clara Belenke is not just a pediatrician, she's Benny's mom, and she knows firsthand the contagiousness of pink eye. When Benny got it, so did she and her husband. Pink eye can be caused by different things. Some cases are due to bacteria, others viruses. And some pink eyes can be traced to allergens, such as plant pollen. That particular kind is considered non-contagious. Pink eye is rarely dangerous, but it can be.
Especially if there's really continuous rubbing, persistent infection, you can eventually cause some trauma to the eye.
And it's especially important to see a doctor if the pink eye is accompanied by visual changes, pain in the eye, intense redness, or if things seem to be getting worse instead of better. Mom got rid of Benny's pink eye the way many parents do, by using an antibiotic ointment. In Sharon, Massachusetts, Jim Morelli,